Hey Bodgers.
Now then.
AD, blown 8 cylinder, cameraman for today.
Aye.
So we've done a thing. Well, we've got a thing. We haven't done it. The boss has done it of the museum. There's been a purchase made and a lot of work for us to do.
Just a little bit.
Anyway, let's show you what we've got, shall we? So, an Austin K2. This one used to be an ambulance during the Blitz in London. This one's an early example, 1939. And it was acquired in 1939 by the government. And it's one of the heavy ambulances. It could carry 4 people. And went throughout the war in London, amazingly. Considering what that little mustachioed fella tried to do to us. Yeah, served out all those years and then ended up in the hands of the co-op, who rebodied it, and they had it as mobile shop. At the end of the video there will be a montage of pictures. Please watch it. There will be pictures in there that haven't been seen for a long time. And yeah, so the co-op acquired 3 vehicles, 3 ambulances, rebodied all 3, and this is the last remaining one as far as I know. If you know different, please comment below, but this is the last one. There will be a walk around video on AD's channel and an assessment of the condition of it, but for now I'm going to give you a bit of history as we sort of yeah, take a look at. We'll have a look on the inside maybe. There's work needs to be done on the inside, but we'll get to that. So anyway, a little bit of history, because it's been a while since I've even done a video, let alone a history of video. Right, glasses on, if it's good enough for Johnny Smith on the Late Break Show, it's good enough for me. I've made notes, I don't care. Right, yeah, so the Blitz is going on in London. It's all big, you know. People are needing to be taken to hospitals and makeshift hospitals. Some of them was even in the underground, so as people get the attention they needed without being outdoors in the hospitals up top. They needed something that was tough, reliable and easy to maintain. These vehicles are driven by various organisations, but you remember the Queen? Late Majesty. Back then she was a princess, 19 years old. She learned to drive and repair these. She also trained as a mechanic. There are words of her when she was going around to various public events, actually having talks with the owners of these vehicles and getting quite in depth into the mechanical side of things, which blows my mind. You know, it's the Queen of England and she's talking about carburetors and whatever. So yeah, these things were prolific. The K2Y, which is what this was the ambulance. There were various other kinds that did different roles. So you'd have the flatbed lorries, and you'd have cranes, and you'd have all the things you'd expect during wartime. Fuel bowsers, anything like that. 2-wheel drive, powered by an Austin 3 litre.
Yes. Straight
6.
Yes.
An example of which we have in the museum. Might even show you that one. 3-speed gearbox. 4-speed gearbox, stand corrected.
Same as the one in the museum.
Yeah. Also, this vehicle, not this particular vehicle, but the K2 was in the film Ice Cold in Alex. You might remember that. And yeah, they had a big role during World War II. Post World War II, like I said, 3 of them acquired by the co-op. This is the last remaining example as far as I'm aware. But there was also used by the NAAFI, which is where it comes into play for us. Here at RAF Snaith Museum, RAF Snaith Museum, this will be open to the public as a mobile cafe. So these used to go around the airfields, and before the boys went up, it'd be a nice strong cup of tea, bacon sandwich, get yourselves back, boys, nice and safe. And those that did come back, they'd be ready there waiting, cup of tea, something to eat, and glad they're all home. So that was run by the NAAFI, the Navy, Army, Air Force Institute. Still going today, amazingly, and still supporting our forces. There was a time there where maybe about 17, 18 years ago it looked a bit rocky as private contracts came in, but still going and still supporting our boys and girls. And they also need your support, so if you see anything on there where you can donate to them and help them out, please do so, because it wasn't just about the helping keeping them refreshed and all the rest, but it was about a place for them to have a bit of normalcy during war or during extreme hardship times, helping the mind as well as the body, because fairly tough out there. So anyway, we'll take a small brief look, but like I say, he's going to do a video on that, so we're not going to get too deep. Now this one has come with a bit of history for us, which makes it a little bit easier. And down here we can actually see where this vehicle was acquired. One of the first we acquired, 1939, 17th of the 10th, 39. I will insert pictures of the actual procurement bill that I have for this particular vehicle that I managed to find. Does need work, seats need changing over there for the passengers, they aren't right, but otherwise it's a good basis of a project. What I'll give you is one airman's account of hearing the NAAFI truck as he returned back from a mission. You knew when the NAAFI K2 was coming. You'd hear that engine rumble down the perimeter track, and suddenly everyone found a reason to be nearby. They served tea, sandwiches, cakes, chocolate, whatever they could get their hands on. It wasn't just a food and drink, you see, it'd be a break, a chance to chat, a bit of normality in the middle of everything. Those old Austin trucks were like a little piece of home driving around the airfield. It's quite a powerful statement, they're away from home anyway. When they're stationed, they could be from anywhere within the Commonwealth, and they're here and they're being looked after by somebody who's maybe a more motherly figure. It was all young men, ages ranging from those that maybe lied about their age, around 16, all the way through into their early 30s. So it meant a lot more to them than just a truck. It was normality. Now I'm going to read here, because I actually wrote a little bit of script for this, believe it or not, I know. Perhaps the most remarkable chapter in history of the K2Y involves a young woman who would go on to become the Queen Elizabeth II. In 1945, when she was still Princess Elizabeth, when she joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, the women's branch of the British Army, and trained as a driver and mechanic. It was a decision that broke with tradition. For the first time, a direct heir to the throne was serving in the armed forces and learning practical hands-on skills. And the vehicle they chose for her to master was the Austin K2Y ambulance. One account says, "She was just like the rest of us. She turned up in her overalls, got her hands dirty, and didn't ask for any special treatment. She learned how to drive that big ambulance, how to handle it on different roads, how to manoeuvre it in tight spaces, how to change gear smoothly, even when it was heavy going. But more than that, she learned how it worked. She stripped down engines, replaced parts, fixed brakes, and understood every nut and bolt. She could drive it, and she could fix it if it broke down. For months she trained alongside other service women, gaining qualifications both as a driver and as a mechanic. She worked on K2Y ambulances exactly like these, used on the front lines, learning every detail of construction, maintenance. This experience stayed with her throughout her life. She often spoke fondly of those days, and of the pride she felt in being able to do a job that helped the war effort. The time with the Austin K2 gave her a unique connection to the vehicle and to all the men and women who relied on it. It was a powerful symbol of how important these trucks were, important enough that royalty would learn to drive them, maintain them and treat them with the same respect as everybody else. And it gave people hope. It gave them hope and in their crown and who they were fighting for, the British Empire, and for freedom. It was more than just symbolic to be able to drive this vehicle, that even the king would let his own daughter drive the K2. He knew that she'd be safe. By the time production ended and the war was over, the K2Y had earned its place in history. It carried the wounded from battlefields, brought refreshment and comfort to thousands on airfields, starred in one of the greatest films ever made, Ice Cold in Alex, and being driven and maintained by a future queen. It served in every climate, in every theatre of operations, proving itself time and time again as one of the most versatile, dependable vehicles Britain had ever produced. Today, surviving examples like this one can be found in museums, private collections and at vehicle rallies across the country, restored to the former glory, and they still draw crowds. People who remember them from the war, who had seen the films, and who simply didn't admire the rugged, honest design, whether it's painted in khaki or in white and red of an ambulance, or the familiar colours of the NAAFI. Each surviving K2Y carries a piece of its history with it. It wasn't fast, it wasn't fancy, it wasn't glamorous, but it was exactly what was needed. A workhorse, a lifeline, a friend to so many. The Austin K2Y is more than just a truck. It's a reminder of ingenuity, of service and of quiet heroes, both human and mechanical, that helped shape our world today. So yeah, that's a scripted bit, but there's a lot of words that don't cover what these things represented to people. And I'm sure if you watch the series that's going to be on Blowing 8 Cylinder, you'll be able to pick up on what this means to people. I'll interject with anything I can find on these things, where I can. But for now, like and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but make sure you subscribe to Blowing 8 Cylinder to watch us as we bring this to something like its former glory and put it back into action, bring those same memories and those same feelings to the people of the UK.
Worth waiting for.